We will call to order the regular board meeting for the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Maricel Hernandez. I'm the chairwoman. Seated to my left is Commissioner Jonathan Swain, and to my right is Commissioner William Cressy. The next item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda. Are there any changes? If not, we'll proceed with the approval of the board meeting minutes for December 12, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And we have as well the board meeting minutes for December 29, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Those are approved as well. Next on the agenda is the Executive Director's Report. Mr. Brock.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Just to let everybody know that the staff is busily getting ready to take care of the special aldermanic election. I spoke to Charles Holliday. He said the files for the fourth ward are all complete. He scanned in all the applications. Everything looks really well. So he's comfortable and confident that everything should be in place. We're going to start early voting in our office on the 19th on the 6th floor. We hopefully will start early voting out in the ward, but we're holding off because we're meeting with 2FM this week to talk about the King Center. There are some minor fixes that need to be made to the King Center to make it 100% accessible. So I don't want to actually publish that until I know that 2FM can make all those changes that need to be made. So I wanted the board members to be aware of that.
And if they can't make the change, we're looking to move, or we're going to stay there?
I'm not sure right now.
Okay. But are we under any like kind of federal push to I know we've had that conversation about giving us until 2018 election.
2018 election.
Right. So
right.
How does this play into that?
We're meeting with the Department of Justice the week of the 16th, so we'll find out.
Got it.
Okay, but I'm going to do it. I spoke to 2FM. They think they can get everything done in time. So
okay.
That's what I'm relying on, just to let the board members know.
These changes to the King Center, did these arise out of the audit that took place on election day?
Yes, it did. And it's cracks in sidewalks, uneven areas. You know, we've had arguments with people saying, you know, all sidewalks have cracks. But it's something that we take seriously and will get fixed. So I just want the board members to.
So there's no major structural changes to the building or anything?
Well, there was a question about the slope, but I think that was taken care of. So we're working on that. This is the alternate entrance, so that's what we're looking at right now. So hopefully to get it in place. What we really need to work on, and what I'm going to do after this election, is all of our early voting sites. Not all of them are accessible, and it's something that we got to take a hard look at. And that's one of the issues I think we're talking about legislation. I want to skip something real fast. I think we should have some type of a meeting with all of our stakeholders to talk about legislation for the 2018. We need to put something together, a package together. Accessibility should be one of them. We should look at vote centers. There are a lot of things that we need to look at. And hopefully that we can do something after the month of April, and put something together. I want to talk to Mr. Scanlon about the legislative calendar, when we can submit something. So it may be sooner than April, but it's something that we really need to look at. So I just wanted the board to be aware of that. Everything seems to be going well. We're doing an audit on cell phones. You know, we had, with all the early voting sites and all the stuff that we put in place for this election, we need to go over. So we're doing an audit on phones. We're doing an audit on emails. We're doing an audit on everything. So hopefully we'll have that completed in the next couple of months. But these are things we have to look at. We have to have all of our county bills in by, Peter, 15th of January. And on the city side, Middle of February? Okay. So that's what we're trying to get everything done, so. But basically, that's all I have for my board members right
Ms. Bateman isn't here today.
now. No, she,
Okay. Mr. Allen?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So, we've been working on a variety of sign-offs on forms and signage for the upcoming election. Legal notices have started to be published, and now we're working on the mailing to voters in the 4th Ward, which was competitively bid. There was a difference between the top 3 or lowest 3 bids of only $90. So we feel confident we got a good price. On website management, we're working to have everything set so that if we have a supplementary or runoff election, all of it will be rolled over as quickly as possible. Correspondence, joint correspondence between this agency and the county clerk's office is going out soon. Following an effort that Mr. Goff described at the last meeting, we should have voting equipment vendors showcase their products at a site in central Chicago that would be open to other agencies, other election authorities to come and visit as well. We want to keep that as transparent as possible. Lastly, on the website management side, you will be receiving a proposal in coming weeks. The vendor has essentially changed, or is in the process of changing the name of the company. In addition, we had a federally funded program for military overseas voting, and since K-Design, which is now going to become a new entity, has previously handled all of the elements of that, including online applications for vote by mail, sample ballots, and web content. So those are the 3 elements involved. And additionally, we'll be able to do this for the first time in all of the languages. K-Design, or the new company that will soon be formally K-Design, will be making a proposal to replace the company that was doing that under the federal grant. We expect at a much more affordable cost at that program. That's all for now.
The showcase that you mentioned, you said it's open to other election authorities. It's not open to the public though? It's just for election authorities?
It will be open to the public.
Okay.
It will be open. We are going to be inviting various stakeholder groups once we've settled on the location and time of the event, so that they'll be able to assess and give us feedback in addition to our own staff looking at the equipment.
And when you say other authorities, you're talking about Illinois, Midwest, or nationally?
The last time we did it, we had people from all over the United States coming to Chicago to look at the equipment. That was back in 2004. So we think that it'll be a large turnout, and people from around the country will come.
And how do we manage the feedback that the stakeholders provide us? As they ask for written feedback, or have we given thought to that process?
You know, that's a very good question. We will have to give thought to that process. This isn't a formal RFQ or RFP, RFI. By next board meeting, we'll draw something up along those regards. Thank you.
I just think it's important just to, if there's going to be a process by which if they can make comment, that we can just say up front, here's how you make the comment. So people can understand the parameters by which they can provide insight and input into the selection of the next voting machines for the next 5 to 10 years.
Just to add, we did hand out a flyer to everybody, and they did write down comments and send it back to the agency. So that's what we did.
Last time at the event?
2004, yeah. And that was held at the Sheridan Hotel.
if I may suggest, though,
We did one at Sheridan, one McCormick Place, so we did both of them.
it might also, maybe in addition to that, or instead of have some sort of web-based thing, so whoever attends, send them a follow-up email saying, what are your thoughts? And then they could and then we could manage it a lot better if we gave it electronically.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Our next item on the agenda is old business, and I think we just addressed some of these issues, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration. Electronic poll books, do we have anything new on that?
No, we're still waiting. We're going to meet with ES&S to go over some of the items.
Okay. Voting equipment, we just addressed that. And lastly, legislation. Mr. Scanlon, is there anything out there?
Nothing to report on pending legislation at this time, and I believe Mr. Goff already spoke a little bit about developing a legislative package and program for this upcoming session. So I'm sure
And the
I'll provide Mr. Goff with whatever information he may need in that regard.
The upcoming session would begin
Tomorrow.
I think that's a great idea. Have input from various organizations and stakeholders who really don't have the means to draft and submit legislation, but that are good ideas, and we may want to support them. I don't think we have anything under new business, and that leads us to a legal report. Mr. Scanlon?
Madam Chairwoman, Commissioners, nothing to report at this time. However, at the appropriate time, I would ask for a motion to recess into executive session to discuss minutes of past executive sessions and also pending litigation.
Okay. We have no financial report today, and I did not receive any public comment forms. Is there anyone here who has public comment? No? Okay, if that's the case, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the minutes of past executive session, sessions and pending litigation.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we will now go into executive session and return into open session once we're done. We are now back in open session. In closed session, the board considered and approved the minutes for the December 29, 2016 executive session. There was no further action taken by the board in executive session. At this time, if there is nothing further to be addressed, is there a motion to adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting on January 24th, 2017 at 9 a.m.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, and we are adjourned. Thank you.